Shalom to my brothers and sisters in the body of YAHUWAH Messiah. And today I bring you some more information dealing with Yahuwah's calendar. Because as you know, according to the Bible, we are to keep a record of the heavens so we can understand about the times we are in. As is written in Genesis chapter 1, verse 14, that the lights in the heavens shall be for us a sign and shall be for seasons, days, and years. Okay, so the title of this word today is The Sun Enters the 10th Sign of Mazzaroth. The sun enters the 10th sign of Mazzaroth. And for those who are new to Yahuwah's calendar, everything I'm saying to you now can be found in the King James Bible, the work of Josephus, 1st and 2nd Enoch, Jubilees, and many other sources. When you understand the history of the Israelites, you will learn that their enemies, which are Yahuwah enemies, have taken the Most High truth and hidden it from the Israelites and from the Gentiles. For they truly do not want you to serve Yahuwah nor follow his truth. So let us begin. The Most High have signs in the heavens to let us know when each season begin and end. So the season that we're about to approach into now is winter. And I'm going to read this post that you see here so you can have the information and do your research as well. Okay? The sun enters the 10th sign of Mazzaroth. The word Mazzaroth can be found in Job chapter 38, verse 32. Mazzaroth means the 12 signs. Today, the heathens call it the Zodiac, which can be confirmed by the works of Josephus. For there are 12 constellations that the sun enters in. And by knowing when the sun enters into each constellation, star constellation, by knowing that, we can know what season we are in. Okay? And also read Genesis chapter 1, verse 14. So the sun enters the 10th sign of Mazzaroth in the 9th month on the 21st day of this year of 2016. Now I'm talking about on the lunar month. Okay? Remember, the sun and the moon each have their own circuit. So on the moon month, on the 21st day of the 9th month of the moon, the sun shall enter into the 10th sign of Mazzaroth. That 10th sign of Mazzaroth today is called Capricorn. And on that day, when the sun enters it, is the last day of the sun's 9th month. But let us continue to read the post so we can get more understanding why it's the sun's 9th month. Okay? The sun enters Capricorn, which is also known as horned goat, on December the 21st, 2016 at 12:44 p.m. Israel time, which falls on Wednesday of this week. For it is called the winter solstice by the Gentiles. Those who have been following me know I use timeanddate.com. So far, they have been pretty accurate with their projections. And the winter solstice information is based off of the solar year circuit, which is very important. You do not want to follow, and I repeat this again, you do not want to follow sidereal. Sidereal is based off the earth rotation. It is not based off the sun circuit. It's a big difference between the two. That is why those who are following sidereal are running into the 13th constellation. But the word for those who have the King James 1611 Bible tells you Mazzaroth is only 12 signs. So we have to follow what the word tells us and not follow man. So in Israel, the sun will enter Capricorn, the 10th sign of Mazzaroth, on December the 21st at 12:44 p.m. So that is before sundown. So on a Hebrew calendar day, this shall take place on December the 20th at sundown to December the 21st at sundown. Now on this day, the night shall be longer than daylight. According to Enoch, the night shall be 12 parts greater, and daylight shall be 6 parts. Now when you do the math, an additional part represents 40 minutes. For we know in the beginning, night was about 12 hours and daylight was about 12 hours. But because we have certain things to happen in biblical events, it has now affected time and can be evident and can be witnessed by these signs in the heaven as proof. So 12 hours are represented by 9 parts. When you read First Enoch and you take your time and you seek out the Most High, you begin that 9 parts is representing 12 hours. And any additional part after 9 parts represent 40 minutes. Okay? So I want you to take some paper out and pencil and write this down. So if 9 parts equal 12 hours, and night, based on the 10th constellation, is 12 parts. So 12 subtract from 9 is 3 additional parts. And 3 additional parts times 40 minutes give us 120 minutes. And if we take 120 minutes and convert it into hours, we would get what? 2 hours. For 60 minutes equals 1 hour. So you will add 2 hours to 12 hours, and the night length would be about 14 hours long. Now I know what you're thinking next. Well, when I go to time and date and I look at that record, it's not exactly quite 14 for night, or it's not exactly quite 10 hours for daylight. If you have been following me on Facebook and YouTube, and you have listened to YAHUWAH Messages, you will understand why now. With all the earthquakes, and with the true Israelites not being in their land, the earth is no longer in line with the heaven circuit. This is why on the spring equinox day and on the fall equinox day, daylight and night are not equal. In other words, it's a slight difference between the two. Like last year, daylight was about 12 hours and 8 minutes. Therefore, night would be slightly under 12 hours. And that is because it's fulfilling prophecy. The earth is no longer in line with the heaven circuit because the true Israelites are not in the Holy Land. This is why I stress to you that you should read 1st and 2nd Enoch, because 1st and 2nd Enoch will give you the understanding of the biblical prophecies that pertain to Israel. Also should give you the understanding of the Most High prophetic messages that he gave to his messengers. One was called an awakening call to the 12 tribes, and the other was called I'm coming for you. And when you hear YAHUWAH message, you will learn that the elements are now out of order. They're no longer aligned because the true Israelites are not in the Holy Land. Again, this is why we should pay attention to the heavens, for he has given us signs to understand, to know what times we are in. So let me take you to Enoch here. And it's in chapter 72 of Enoch. And when you're looking at the sun, ninth month, it would start from verse 25 to 26. Now, I highly recommend that you read the whole chapter to write out each month so you can understand when the sun month begin and end for each season. For there's a certain sign you should look for in the heavens. Okay? But in this video, I shall only read verse 25 to 25 to 26. And the sun rises on the day from the second portal and sets in the west in the second portal and returns to the east into the fourth portal for 1:30 mornings, and sets in the first portal in the west of the heaven. So in the ninth month, it's telling you how many days the sun should have this course, how it should set in the west, and how it should set in the east. And in first Enoch, it said for 31 mornings. Now, I do want to make this clear. This is when time was perfect. But there's things that has happened in biblical history that has affected time. So the sun months can be, and I have witnessed this with my own eyes by keeping a record, can be 29, 30, or 31 days. Because if you have read 2nd Enoch, you will understand the mystery why the sun has 365.25 days and why every fourth year the sun has 366 days. But those who keep a record will also know that the 366 days does not occur in the year that the heathens say it should occur. It does not. This is why it's very important for you to read 1st and 2nd Enoch. For Enoch is a prophet of the Most High, and he was given great mysteries to give to us to know the Most High truth about his calendar. Let us continue. Verse 26. And on that day, the night becomes longer and amounts to the double of the day. And nights amount exactly to 12 parts, and the day to 6 parts. So on the 31st day, or you could say on the last day of the sun's ninth month, the night becomes longer than day. It is about double. Okay? So when the night is 12 parts, it's about 14 hours. And for daylight to be 6 parts, it's about 10 hours. Okay? Another comparison you can use is when we get into the spring equinox. That's when night and daylight is about equal. They would be 9 parts each. They would be equal in length. And this cycle continues throughout the year. In spring, daylight is about equal to night. In summer solstice, daylight is longer than night. Daylight is about 14 hours. Night is about 10 hours. Then in the fall equinox, daylight and night are equal in length. And then in the winter solstice, night is longer than daylight. For night is about 14 hours and daylight is about 10 hours. Do you see how he gives us signs and proof in the heavens to confirm what Enoch is telling you? Okay. So times for in America when the sun enters Capricorn, which is the 10th sign of Mazzaroth, are on December the 21st, which is Wednesday, in the Eastern Standard Time, it shall enter into that constellation around 5:44 a.m. On December the 21st, for Central Standard Time, the sun shall enter the 10th star constellation around 4:44 a.m. And on December the 21st, for Pacific Standard Time, the sun shall enter the 10th constellation around 1:44 a.m. Okay? And the reason why we got time difference, remember, Israel for America on Eastern Standard Time is about 7 hours ahead of us. All right? In the ninth month, on the 21st day of the lunar month, that is the last day of this sun's ninth month. So that's the last day, my people. Now, because we cannot split a calendar day and say part of it's fall and part of it's winter, we have to go to the next day, which I'm about to read to you now. First day of winter and first day of the sun's 10th month is on the 9th month and 22nd day. Okay? Now, those who are keeping a record of the Most High Holy Calendar, we know we have a holy feast coming up. And that feast is called Feast of Dedication / Hannukah / Festivals of Lights. Shall be in the winter season this year of the Hebrew calendar. It does not, I'm going to repeat this again, it does not involve lighting the menorah. Know your history and Torah, Israel. Read the works of Josephus, 1st and 2nd Maccabees, and Torah. Lighting the menorah once a year is a synagogue of Satan custom, which comes from the Talmud. Lights, my people, and this is what Josephus shall tell you too, actually means freedom / liberty to worship Yahuwah without oppression and affliction from Yahuwah's enemy. Remember, you are in Satan's kingdom until Yahushua, the Son of Yahuwah, delivers / redeem us. And I'll put the video link to give you more understanding about the Festival of Lights that we call Hannukah today. But notice how what happened in the Bible is happening now. As it is written in John chapter 10, verse 22, and it was at Jerusalem the feast of the dedication, and it was winter. So for those who are keeping a count of record would notice that Hannukah, which is called the Festival of Light, shall be in the winter season. Okay? That's something to think about. Now, for those who disagree with the 13th month, this is proof that a 13th month does exist. For those who keep a record of the moon, we notice that you have an extra moon in the solar year that occur according to what Enoch was telling us, because the moon does get behind the sun. So the heavens does correct itself by giving you an extra moon. For those who are truly tracking the moon will see that evidence. Okay? Now we shall click on the 9th month lunar solar Mazzaroth calendar. And the reason why I'm leaning more to that title is because when people hear lunar solar calendar, I think they tend to stay away from it because they're afraid. They think they're following what the heathens does. But when the Most High give you true understanding about Genesis chapter 1 and give you understanding about his lights in the heaven, and once you understand their role and what part they play in his calendar, you begin to learn it's not just lunar solar. It's based on lunar, solar, and Mazzaroth. And only through the Most High can he give you the true understanding of what each light role are in the heavens. So you know how to keep a record of his calendar. Because again, if you're stuck in the wilderness, how do you know when a day beginning in? How will you know when the week beginning in? How will you know when the month beginning in for the moon and for the sun? How will you know when the season begin and end? See, the heavens talk to us all the time. And for those who are not aware, our people did look at the heavens. Read Matthew chapter 16, verse 1 through 5, and Luke chapter 12, I believe it's verse 54 through 57 or 58, and check for the description box for those verses. Our people did not rely on technology or man to tell them when these things should occur. They rely on the heavens that was created by Yahuwah to tell them of these different signs. Now I'm going to click on this link so you can see a photo of Yahuwah's calendar. So you can have. Now, I have it in this format based off of Ezekiel chapter 46. When you read verse 1 through 8. 1 through 8. Ezekiel chapter 46, verse 1 through 8. Again, this comes from studying the Most High Word and understanding when are the new moon offerings, when are the Sabbath offerings, and when you understand that those two do not cross over. And the work of Josephus will give you the proof for that. And understanding about the continual burnt offering. The continual burnt offering will cross over. That means it will be done on the new moon day, and it will be done on the Sabbath day, which is the 7th day of the lunar week. But the new moon offering, which is the monthly burnt offering, is not offered on the Sabbath day offering. They are two separate days. Again, you have to seek Yahuwah to get the understanding. But notice how the moon phases are lining up. Okay? Here, this is the crescent, letting me know this is the beginning of month, as confirmed by Enoch, Philo, the work of Josephus, and the King James 1611 Bible. Then the second week of the lunar month, we have half a moon. That phase usually occurs on the 6th, 7th, or 8th day. Now the full moon, this is even confirmed by the Gentile sources as well as by Enoch, okay? And the Bible too. You can only have a full moon on the 14th or 15th day of each lunar month. That is guaranteed, my people, okay? Now for the waning half moon, from my observations from observing it, it usually occurs on the 21st or the 22nd day. And then for the dark moon, which is known as the old moon or as the conjunction, occurs on the 28th, 29th, or 30th day. Okay? So it can be in the 4th week of the lunar month, or it can be on the last day of the lunar month. So when you understand these lunar phases, especially the 4-quarter lunar phases, which are half moon, full moon, waning half moon, and dark moon, when you understand how this works, then you understand his calendar. This is why we will have 29 days or 30 days when you understand the moon phases. And Passover and Feast of Tabernacles always occur on a full moon day, which explains why we have blood moons. Or you can have what we call a total lunar eclipse, known as the central lunar eclipse, where you can have darkness that shall last for several hours. This type of eclipse is different from solar eclipse, okay? Solar eclipse can only occur on a dark moon day based on its alignment, but the darkness from the solar eclipse only lasts for a few minutes. On a full moon day, you can have different types of eclipse, such as a blood moon or central lunar eclipse, which is the darkest eclipse, and they can last for several hours. Again, you have to understand the moon phases. And the Most High gave us evidence and confirmation in the New Testament. For Passover was on a full moon day, which explains why we have darkness from the 6th hour to the 9th hour. Okay? Well, I thank you for taking the time to listen to this video and to get understanding of the importance of knowing when the season beginning end. For this Wednesday, let me go back to the other post. For this Wednesday, look at the time. In Israel, during the daylight phase, the sun will enter the 10th star constellation. So on your calendar day, it'll be from December the 20th at sundown to December the 21st at sundown. But the first day of winter shall begin on December the 21st at sundown to December the 22nd at sundown. And that would fall on the 22nd day of the 9th month of the moon of the 3rd week. That would be the first day of winter. And Hannukah shall begin on the 9th month in the 25th day of the moon month. So Hannukah this year shall be in the winter season. All right, my family, I love you all. Continue to preach the gospel that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Make sure the people receive salvation as written in Romans chapter 10 through 8 to 13. And make sure they are baptized in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. For you must be born of spirit and in water to enter into the kingdom of heaven. For more information on baptism, read John chapter 3, verse 1 through 13. Mark chapter 16, verse 14 through 20. Acts chapter 2, chapter 8, chapter 11, chapter 16, and chapter 19. And for a more greater example, look at what Yahushua HaMashiach did for baptism, which can be found in Matthew chapter 3, Luke chapter 3, Mark chapter 1, and John chapter 1. All right, my family. Shalom.